Airdrop season continues. We're seeing airdrops every single week now. Today we're going to talk about 6 different cross-chain bridge-like airdrops that I think are probably coming your way. And so I think you should probably use some of these different applications. Without further ado, we're just going to jump straight into it. We've got 6 apps. So yeah, let's start with the first one. This one is called Binance Exchange. It's one of the ones that I use a lot, actually. I really do like it. You can basically swap assets from one exchange, one network to another. And they have like all of the layer 2, so you can basically farm 2 in 1 if you're trying to farm scroll, or if you're trying to farm linear or zkVM or zk-sync or even base and blast as well, which also don't have tokens. You can basically do that very, very easily. So you can basically move assets. So let's say you've got USDC on base and you wanted to move it to scroll, you can simply do that. Just connect your wallet, boom, takes short period of time, maybe a couple of minutes at max, and you can basically move your funds over. They don't have a points program, but I do think there will be some sort of token in the near future. So yeah, it's one that I like to use organically, but I think if you did farm it, you probably will get rewarded for it. Next, we've got DBridge, and DBridge is actually one of my favorites because it connects EVM to Solana as well, and everyone likes to use Solana nowadays, and so I think it makes it very, very easy if you're bridging from any of the layer 2s and you want to, bridge into Solana or vice versa. One of the great things about DBridge is it's actually one of the fastest bridges ever. I say bridge, perhaps it's a bit more like a cross-chain layer, whatever. It only takes around 15 seconds, and it's super, super quick. And they have a points program right now, and we know that points mean prizes. And so, yeah, I'm pretty sure that DBridge will have a token. I think it's probably something you should farm, and you get more points for the more number of transactions, I believe, or like the fees that you end up paying. They do have rebates, so that does help you a lot. But I do think you should probably use this every single week until they have a token, and you probably will get rewarded pretty nicely for it. I don't think this is over farmed at the moment, and I think it's fairly easy to stack points right now. So yeah, be my guest. And use my referral link. I'll leave a link to it in the description below, potentially. Next is Orbiter Finance. Orbiter is probably one of the more over-farmed ones because it's one of the ways that people were able to get into the layer 2s very, very early. In fact, even right now, I think it's one of the only bridges that actually do support some of the smaller layer 2s, the likes of BitLayer and Merlin, these new Bitcoin layer 2s, but also like if you wanted to get into Mode, or if you wanted to get into perhaps some of these more niche layer 2s, even Starknet as well. And you can just see on screen, like some of these are fairly niche layer 2s. If you wanted to get into them, kind of bridge in and out, Orbiter is probably one of the best ways to do it. And Orbiter do have points, and we know that points mean prizes. So yeah, I think one that you probably will have used, some of you probably will have used it over the last 12 months if you've been farming. But yeah, definitely one that I think I'll continue to use because I think they will have an airdrop. Next, number 4, we've got Lezero. Now, Lezero have actually done their snapshot. They actually tweeted about it not long ago, but they specifically said that this is just for season 1, and so that means that there is going to be a season 2. And so right now, I guess you're kind of early to season 2 if you wanted to farm it. You can use all of the different applications that Lezero supports. Lezero, for anyone who doesn't know, is like this cross-chain communication layer, cross-chain messaging layer, you could say, and it's integrated like pretty substantially across the entire crypto space at the moment. You probably have used Lezero in some way, shape or form. Look, there's almost 100 apps. One of the most popular ways that people may have used it is via Stargate. Stargate, again, is just a place where you can swap or move assets from one chain to another. And I'll be honest, I don't think Stargate is really competitive, especially when you compare it to some of the ones that we've just talked about. But, I think if you want to get some volume, and if you want to pay some fees and use some different smart contracts for Lezero, then you probably will end up using it. Number 5, we've got Jumper. Jumper, again, pretty good because you could go from like any asset to any other asset, and they have like so many different chains as well, especially some of these like more niche chains as well. Pretty good, pretty easy to use. Yeah, not much more to say than that. They don't have a points program or anything like that, but they are powered by Li-Fi. So just so you know. But yeah, something that I've used quite a few times before as well. And lastly, we've got one of the more newer ones. We've got Hyperlane, and lots of people are talking about this now. This is getting a bit of buzz, but there isn't really too much you can do here. There's a few chains, including some of the Cosmos chains that you've got here, like Injective and Celestia and Neutron, and you've got some of the layer 2s like Arbitrum, and you've got ETH mainnet, and essentially you can move assets from one of these chains to another. I would highly recommend, I can't say highly recommend because, there's still risks with all of this stuff, but I mean, what I'm personally doing is I'm using some of these different applications. Now, of course, there are risks. You can lose your funds, you can enter the wrong contract or whatever, and sometimes I guess you are taking risks by trusting these cross-chain layers and bridges. Bridges have time and time again been exploited, but the purpose of this video was really to just talk about different opportunities in terms of airdrop farming, because I think the following 6 that we've just talked about today will likely have tokens, and so you've got 6 airdrops which could add up to a substantial amount. Who knows? Either way, I'm farming all of them. So yeah, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back with plenty more content in the near future.